Hi, I'm Nicholas Walls, and this is History in 5. And today, we'll be discussing the concept of Irredentism and how it compelled nations to do battle in the Great War. Irredentism is the concept of reclaiming or reuniting lost lands due to cultural, political, or ethnic associations in often contested areas. The Balkans are one early and particularly relevant example in this. However, this would not be the sole incident of irredentist claims coming to the fore of the Great War. Many of the key players of the great nations would have irredentist claims when they competed for lands and territories. Tied to the irredentist claims of lost lands, there's a sense of wrongness and injustice for whatever lands in question not being part of whatever empire in question happens to be claiming them. As a precursor to the Great War, we have the irredentist claims in the Balkans, this lovely chunk of southeastern Europe right here. It is land of many peoples. As such, it's land of many claims. From the Serbians claiming Greater Serbia, to the Bulgarians claiming Greater Bulgaria, to the Greeks claiming Greater Aegean territories. And little Macedon here, which at this time doesn't exist as a sovereign nation, claiming to be separate, while all three of Serbia, Bulgaria, and Greece claim those same territories. That is irredentism. These lands were once or ought to be part of our people, and thus should be part of our empire. It gets hairy when many people happen to live in the same area. Multi-ethnic empires, many competing tensions. In addition to the newly sovereign nations of the Balkans having conflict, there are conflicts between Serbia's pan-Slavic Greater Serbia and the Austria-Hungarian Empire, of which one of their minority populaces were the Serbs and Slavs. Serbia contested this little border right here, where Austria-Hungary claimed all of Serbia, or thereabouts. This would be directly culpable in kicking off the powder keg of the Great War. That one shot, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, would come about as a result of competing irredentist claims. There were other factors, but it certainly helped it along. However, Southern Europe is not the only location with irredentist claims playing a huge factor in the Great War. Up north, we have France and Deutschland, the German Empire, competing over a bit of territory right here between them. Alsace-Lorraine. Now, these nominal borders shift. Borders change over time. They are lines drawn on a map due to flags and association. They're not hard and fast. Alsace-Lorraine, between Germany and France, had been claimed by King Louis of France back in the 17th century. Surprise, surprise, being on the border, it had a sizable portion of German-speaking peoples in it. Fast forward some time later, and you have the German Empire uniting in the late 1800s. One of their goals involved uniting all German-speaking peoples. As such, in the Franco-Prussian War, they claimed Alsace-Lorraine as a buffer against France. France would not forgive Germany for this, and it was a constant source of tension between the two nations, to the point where the French would teach this irredentist policy of Alsace-Lorraine in their schools. Like nationalism, you must train someone to be personally offended that a bit of territory far, far away that you will never own is not in your country's hands. You have to create a sense of personal injury to gather up people to go out and fight because lines on a map changed. Italy is perhaps the poster child for irredentism in the Great War. Not for the scope or scale of the irredentist claims, nor even the boundaries of bloodshed it would cause. Sorry, Italy, just not that deadly, not that important. But because it was their sole, potent, overriding reason for engaging in the war. Not only that, it would cause them to switch from allegiance with the Central Powers to jumping to the side of the Entente and the Allies solely on the basis they believed the Allies would allow them to claim their irredentist colonies in North Africa and the Mediterranean better. They jumped ship solely to obtain colonies abroad and reclaim parts of the Italian or Roman Empire. Think of it as the seagulls from Finding Nemo, with each of the great powers going, mine, mine, mine. Only these seagulls are equipped with large armies, industrial-grade weaponry, and the means and will to use them. Irredentist claims drive nations to compete over identity and allegiance. That is to say, scraps of flag and lines drawn on a map. It would be directly responsible for setting the situation and give the justification for many conflicts that would lead to the Great War. I'm Nicholas Walls. This is History in 5. Have a great one.